What's up, good folks? Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Bernicia, and you're here with N.E.X.T. Alright, so if you're new here, please hit that like, comment, and subscribe buttons. All the buttons, okay? So, guys, today I want to talk about what went down on this latest episode of Baddies Midwest. Now we're on episode 20 something. We on 20 something, okay? I can't keep up at this point. All right, but before we get into the latest episode, I do want to kind of talk about last week's episode since I didn't recap it. All right, so the highlights of that episode was really the situation that went down in the club between Bad Dolly and Jayla. Okay, so you already got the newbies feeling some type of way. They feel like the OGs aren't following the rules. They not. You know what I'm saying? They're giving them rules to follow, but the OGs don't have to do anything that they're supposed to be doing, including not fighting at the club, right? So they get to the club. Jayla and Bad Dolly basically get into a squabble over a fight, over a spot, okay? So Dolly went over to the side where the OGs were standing and fucked around and nudged Jayla, and then Jayla ended up stealing her in the face. So then that turned into a brawl in the club. But unfortunately, the next morning, Dolly ended up having a seizure and ended up having to go to the hospital, okay? Now, fast forward to this week's episode. It picks up with Summer and Lex, okay? So we get to see Dolly in the hospital. We know that she's, for the most part, she's okay, so she's getting taken care of. But unfortunately, because of this medical emergency, she is now leaving the show early, okay? And so Summer and Lex, they really not. One thing I could say about the Rat Pack, the Rats do stick together, okay? Because they did, for what it's worth, they didn't leave her side. They were there with her, checking on her, showing concern. Summer even contacted Dolly's mom to let her mom know about the medical emergency that was going on. And for the first time this season, I see the human side of Summer, because for the most part the bitch been acting like a wild ass banshee, but I get to see the human side of her, the way that she showed care and concern for her friend, okay? So we get to see like a montage flashes of Dolly's her biggest moments on the show. And so one of the producers asked Dolly who would she miss the most from the show. Dolly said that she would miss Summer, okay? And I noticed that in the comment section a lot of people had something to say about the fact that she didn't mention Lex. But y'all have to remember, Dolly and Lex didn't start off being cool with each other, okay? They had really, they weren't originally like that close, you know what I'm saying? They had started building a friendship or whatever, whoop de whoop, but ultimately Summer and Dolly was just closer, as far as whoever Dolly connected with, okay? And yeah, so that's that. So anyway, the scene flashes and Natalie is sitting on the porch. You got Rolly, Scotty, and who the fuck else was it? A couple of the girls. Tinka. Rolly, Scotty, and Tinka. Alright, so Rolly, now this is the part that gets me. Out of all the girls, besides, the two that was closest to Dolly, Lex and Summer, out of all the girls, Rolly was the only one who even bothered to check on the newbies. Matter of fact, she was there when the incident happened with Dolly, okay? Because after the altercation that happened at the club the night before, Rolly came down to check on the newbies and see how they were doing. Now, that's one thing. Y'all can talk shit about Rolly and y'all can hate on Rolly all y'all want, but when it's time to make it make sense, Rolly makes it make sense, okay? And if you ask me, she showed more concern for the girls than Natalie does. And this is her show, okay? Because Rolly apparently went to the hospital as well. She wasn't able to get in because there were too many people. But she did. The fact that she even did that much speaks volumes, okay? So she was basically explaining to Natalie the situation that was up with Dolly and everything like that. And even though Tinka and Scotty really don't care so much for Dolly, you can see that they were concerned about the situation. Who wouldn't be? Because at the end of the day, they all are baddies. And if something happens to one of them, it's quite possible that can happen to another. You know what I'm saying? Just situations like that. You just don't want to see one of your compadres go down. Okay. So anyway, Natalie lets them know that she will be having a dinner. Okay. So we already know what time it is with this dinner. So anyway, now you have the newbies. They're kind of gathered in the living room, and they're basically talking about the whole situation with Dolly. Everybody's kind of in, some downtrodden spirits or whatever, whoop de whoop. And then Summer and Lex comes in. Apparently they were just leaving the hospital, so they give the girls an update on Dolly. And then Lex starts going off saying that she's ready to fight, and she basically blames Jayla for what happened to Dolly. Now, I'm no medical professional or nothing like that, but I do know that serious injuries can happen from face. When you hit somebody in their face or anywhere above their neck, you can cause a serious injury. However, it is a very dangerous thing for Lex to be saying like, oh, Jayla, such and such happened because of Jayla. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of looks crazy for Zeus. Like, bitch, lost too much? For real. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that Lex is right to blame Jayla for Dolly having a seizure, because Dolly said it herself. She took some medication and she wasn't hydrated and she was on an empty stomach and whatnot, and so that's what really led to the seizure or whatever. It had nothing to do with the fact that Jayla punched her in the face, and even if it did, Dolly would never admit that, because it's just be admitting that a bitch put your ass in the hospital. Okay, so anywho, so Nat decides to FaceTime the girls at the house. So she FaceTimes Lex and Ivory, and she tells Lex to get the girls ready for the dinner tonight. And she also tells Ivory that the special guest that's coming through is going to be male. Okay, so she's already giving Ivory a heads up that her arch nemesis is coming to the show. All right. So now, at this point, the girls are on their way to the diner to have dinner or fight or whatever have you, and you got Lex going off. At this point, Lex is big mad. She's ready to fight. She's, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting up there looking at this scene, and at the same time, I'm like,
God, I didn't even say nothing yet. Come on, bro. I didn't even say.
Lex, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lex, to me, she just does too much. Okay? Like, her beefs the beefs that she's getting into, like, she wants to fight Jayla about something that has nothing to do with her. Like, Jayla's incident happened with Summer. Okay? Jayla had beef with Summer. She never had beef with Lex. And this is the second time Lex is coming for Jayla when Jayla never did anything directly to Lex. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, when they first started the beginning of the season, Lex called Jayla out because she felt like Jayla bullied Gretch. It's like, I don't know what it is about Jayla that bothers Lex, but it seems like Lex keep finding a reason to fuck with her. The same thing when it comes to Anna. Like, I get it, Anna has a big mouth, she talks a lot of shit, and I get it that she's beefing with your friend. However, bitch, she never did anything to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird how Lex keep trying to start these beefs and, try kind of like storyline herself. I feel like, and that's another reason why I felt like her friendship with Summer is not as authentic, because I just feel like she knows that Summer is clout. She's a walking bag of clout, and if Lex want to be known or make her and want to be seen and heard, that's the way to do it. Because outside of Lex fighting, it doesn't seem like she has much of a personality. Like, you don't see her in no other instance other than fighting. The same thing with Dolly. You don't see much of Dolly's personality other than when she's fighting. Like, you don't see nothing else from her. And another thing I don't like too is that both Lex and Dolly, they'll sit up there and watch Summer start some shit, crash the fuck out, and never try to correct her. Like, bitch, if you're my friend and I see you going down the wrong path, or if I see you keep starting shit or getting yourself into shit, I'm going to say something to you because you're my friend and I care about you. Like, yes, I'm gonna have your back, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna let you just keep running yourself head first into a brick wall. Like, I'm going to do something or say something to try to get you off that, self-destructive path. But these two bitches just basically tag along behind Summer, like, everything Summer's doing is okay. Prime example, the Baddies Africa reunion. Not Baddies Africa reunion, the Baddies Africa auditions, which y'all stay tuned for that because I will be dropping a recap on the auditions. But yeah, child. So anyway, Nunu asked Ivory about Mel, and Ivory basically was like, "Don't ask me about that bitch. She don't want shit but clout." And apparently she did enough clouting because she got on the show. Well, I guess the truth can be said that she did enough clouting because she was able to make an appearance on Zeus. Okay, so meanwhile, in the other sprint event with the OGs, they were basically on the same type of time. Now, this is where the Natalie effect come in because obviously, the same way Natalie called, called the girls and told them about the dinner and everything like that, and probably was putting bugs in the newbies' ear. Well, she apparently did the same thing for the OGs because they are expecting a fight just as well as the newbies. Okay. So anyway, we finally get to the dinner or the restaurant. And so they have like this fire dancer out there performing for the girls, and I'm like, great Zeus, this is a fucking distraction. And they got some Hawaiian guy doing like the fire dances and stuff like that, but the girls really ain't like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody can really enjoy it because it's just like they already know what they're there to do. So everybody's kind of focused on what the game plan is or what the goal is. Ain't nobody really paying no attention. I think that was a waste of money. Y'all could have saved the performance to maybe after the fights, okay? So anyway, soon as everybody walks in, the way that it's set up, you already know that it's time is up and popping. It's like a big open space. You know, you got the chairs lined around. When they sitting like that, it's going to be up, right? And so, as soon as the girls get seated, the OGs start popping it. Okay, I will honestly say that they the ones started it. Now, don't get me wrong, Lex and Summer was coming there to fight anyway, but yeah, Summer was sitting up there quiet, which is very unusual for Summer. I think like whatever was going on in her mind, you know, feeling some kind of way about the whole Dolly situation and everything. I think that Summer just had a lot on her mind because that bitch was literally quiet, sitting there and sitting there with a greasy ass fucking face, looking like a lost puppy. I felt bad for her. I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, Anna and Jayla starts throwing shots at Summer and whoop de whoop, and then shit pretty much got popping. Summer got up and went over to Natalie like she's like, "Oh, Natalie, you forgot to give me a hug." So she goes over and do this like whisper thing in Natalie's ear. Meanwhile, Anna sees Summer getting up. So Anna's like, "Scotty, watch your back. Scotty, watch your back." She had to tell Scotty twice because Scotty was already looking at Summer. So when Summer rushed her, she got up and did her famous kick. I swear, Scotty, did you play soccer or some shit, bitch? Because the way that she kicked the fuck out of Summer didn't make no sense. And then them two got to squabbling. Now, Summer and Scotty, I want to say that they had one round, but Scotty did damn good. Scotty did her big way, and I don't give a fuck what a bitch got to say about Scotty. Scotty definitely stepped it up, okay? She is tired of y'all calling her weak, calling her scary. She is definitely standing her motherfucking ground. Even so much for that she had fucking Natalie gagged, okay? So it was at one point when all the fighting started, Scotty started screaming at Natalie like, hit that bitch, and then so Natalie went off on Scotty like, bitch, you don't tell me what the fuck to do, da-da-da-da, you already know how I feel about you, and da-da-da-da. Obviously, like I've been clocking it, Natalie and Scotty just not on the same page. They not feeling each other, they don't like each other, and the one thing I agree with Natalie about is the Scotty that we met in Baddies South is definitely not the Scotty that we're seeing now, okay? This Scotty is fighting. This Scotty is snapping. This Scotty is coming for Natalie. Like, who? You gotta appreciate the glow up. You gotta appreciate a bitch get tired. Like my daddy used to always say, every dog has their day, and sometimes you could keep walking past that yard dog that like to sit in your yard and keep kicking them, but eventually he gonna get up and find another yard to sit in, okay? So in other words, Scotty don't got tired of Natalie trying to shit on her every chance she get, and she don't started choosing violence, okay? So I'm right there with Scotty with that one. And so Scotty, obviously she knew that Natalie was planning on giving out chains, so she had I don't know if she snuck in out of this room, whatever the case was, but she pulls out this Baddies chain and she was like, I don't know who the chain for, but Summer, bitch, you ain't getting it. And I was like, yes, Scotty, yes. I was cheerleading for Scotty. I swear to God, like, she may not be our most favorite person right now, but y'all cannot say that bitch damn sure didn't step it up a notch this season. Like, she did her big one this season, okay? She had a few fights and she beat Summer's ass. Not dramatically, but she got the upper hand. She definitely got the better out of that fight. So speaking of Summer. So when Summer and Scotty, while they were fighting and going back and forth, Big Lex came in and went straight for Jayla. Now, Big Lex and Jayla, they fought like 3 rounds or no. I think they fought like 2 or 3 rounds. And I'm not gonna lie, like, Jayla lost. Now, when we were hearing about the fight prior to it happening via like social media and Lex talking about the fight or whatever, you would have thought that Lex beat the fuck out of her, especially when she kept saying, I dogged you. No. She did not dog Jayla, okay? She did get the upper hand in the fight, but she didn't dog Jayla, okay? Bitch, she punched her in the mouth and she put some knots on her head. She for sure did. And she ended up body slamming. Like, Jayla just kept grabbing at Lex because, for one, we already know that Lex hurt, right? And Lex was connecting, straight face shots. So, at one point, Jayla just kept grabbing her, like, holding on for dear life, because if she would have let Lex got them arms loose, she would have really got whooped, okay? She would have really got whooped. But she did get her ass beat anyway. She did. So, Big Lex did that and had her leaking. She did that. That's one thing about it. Big Lex gonna draw some blood out of bitch, okay? But yeah, she didn't beat Jayla down. Like, it wasn't like just a straight beat down. Jayla was fighting for her life, okay? So anyway, the scene cut and you see a confessional from Rolly, and basically she was saying, like, the new G's get treated unfairly and things like that. And I agree with Rolly. I feel like it's not fair that the newbies have to work so hard and they're not getting the same treatment that the OGs get, and the OGs ain't doing shit. You know what I'm saying? The newbies have been running it up this season, and that's real shit. Like, if it wasn't for the newbies, Summer in particular, this season would have been boring. Now, as much as I hate Summer, well, I won't say hate Summer. I don't hate Summer. I actually halfway like her. I just can't stand Summer. Okay? As much as I can't stand Summer, if it was not for Summer, this whole season would be dragged, man. Like, it's so many episodes that Summer saved it's ridiculous. So it's just like the OGs, the newbies definitely came in and popped their shit. So I agree with Rolly. Now, back to the Natalie and Scotty thing, because they ended up getting into a full-fledged fucking argument, okay? And so, when Scotty, when Anna and Summer started fighting, because we'll get to the Anna and Summer fight, but Anna and Summer started fighting, Scotty was yelling and shit, talking shit to Summer, and then Big Lex was like, bitch, I want you. So she called out Scotty. Scotty didn't take the fade. So mind you, now that Natalie is arguing with Scotty, and Scotty's telling Natalie, like, get in the paint, woo woo. Natalie said, what? I am in the paint. She was like, bitch, you need to go fight. She was like, you need to go fight that bitch. She's the one called you out talking about Lex, right? And Scotty was like, I only trained to fight Summer, okay? I had practice. I was not prepared to fight Lex, okay? Bitch, I had to train to fight Summer. It's so crazy because you can hear Tasiki coaching Scotty in the background, and I'm just like, I already know they was doing some boxing lessons, bitch. Scotty was ready. That bitch came with her hair braided down, everything. Scotty was ready, bitch. She had on practice and did some sparring lessons and shit. But she was not. She said, bitch, I don't made it to silver. I'm not at gold yet. I can't fight Lex. Scotty didn't want that smoke. Oh, and back to Jayla. When fucking Jayla and Lex fault. Now, Jayla, you got your ass whooped, okay? But she also pissed me off because it's like, bitch, the spitting. You spitting at Lex with a mouthful of fucking blood. That is double disgusting, okay? So now when Tinkerbell was saying get your twin, talking about Akbar, bitch, y'all are definitely twins. Bitch, y'all are more than twins at this point. Y'all are motherfucking spirit animals and shit because you both of y'all got that bald ass blonde toothpick head. Thumbnail head, and both of y'all ass like to spit like fucking llamas. That is disgusting. Okay, that is disgusting. So anyway, Anna versus Summer. Now, Anna and Summer, they fought 3 times. Okay, Summer dragged Anna round 1 and 2. Now round 3, Anna managed to keep up some, but I think for Anna, I think it was the hair. It was the hair because Summer really was like controlling that bitch with her hair. She was literally using Anna's body as windshield wipers. Okay, she had that bitch by her hair and was wiping the fucking floor with her ass. So I think that Anna should have just did what Scotty did and had that shit braided down and balled up. Cause like, bitch, you got your ass whopped. But that third round though, Anna was sticking it to Summer ass. She just couldn't really do too much because Summer is bigger than her, one, and taller than her. So one thing I will say, y'all can hate Anna all y'all want to, but that bitch is scrappy as fuck. She is scrappy. To be a little bitch like that, she's very fucking scrappy. She do talk her shit, but at the end of the day, Anna gets in a motherfucking paint. You can't say as much for Biggie. I'm just saying. So anyway, yes. So at one point you can see Anna's there at the bottom of Anna's feet, and I was like, bitch, you better not ever call another bitch dirty with your feet looking like that. Now don't get me wrong. It could have been because she probably had took a whole scroll around the restaurant. But damn. And the way that she bent over twerking like that with her damn ass out, she looked so stank. I was just like, you know what? I'm over it. I am fucking over it. I'm dead. So anyway, the scene flashes and you see a confessional with Scotty, where Scotty is basically saying how fake Natalie is. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was saying how weird Natalie is, and like how Natalie even allowed like her bestie Jayla to get jumped and didn't do anything and stuff like that. And while I agree with Scotty about Natalie, like, and I'm glad that she finally opened her eyes and seeing Natalie for what she is, it's just like, bitch, this is not new. This is something that everybody else been seeing. How the fuck you just seeing it? That's your friend, girl. That's your friend. So anyway, the episode ends with the fight between Mel and Ivory. At least one of the rounds, okay? So Mel comes in and her little intro, she and us sounded drunker than a bitch. She like, and talking all slow and dry. I was like, I hope this girl don't talk like that like on a regular basis, because it's just like, she sounded like one of those, I don't know if y'all remember. See, I'm a 90s baby. So before, like when Facebook was just coming out, not Facebook, MySpace was just coming out. They used to have like these chat lines, right? And you could get on the chat line and talk to somebody. She sounded like one of those sexy workers that talk on the chat line. I was just like, girl, just stop drawling, like, bitch. So anyway, she come in and she was looking real good, bitch. She had a 2-piece outfit on. She had her hair inching. She had the inches on. But I was thinking to myself, like, why the fuck did she even come dressed up? Because Ivory was ready to tear her, okay? And I've seen some of their fights, like I've seen clips of their fights from N.E.X.T, and them two fight, it's crazy when they fight. So I don't understand why she came in fully dressed when she know damn well how her and Ivory get down when they be fighting. Anyway, she comes in and squares up immediately. She knows what time it is. She takes off her heels and square up with Ivory, and Ivory just I was like, got to be more careful. Ivory ate that bitch up for the old and the new. I mean, bitch, if I didn't know the backstory between their beef, I would have thought that Mel threw the piss on Ivory the way that Ivory beat Mel's ass. Like, it was ridiculous. Child, there's no words. There's no words. That bitch just got, like, whopped for no reason. You came right in. And I see in the comment section that people were saying, like, you know, Lex was weird, Summer was weird for cheering Ivory on because Ivory had don't beat both of their ass. But at the end of the day, if you had to choose between the evil you know and the evil you don't know, who would you choose? I'm just saying. Like, if I was them, I would be backing up the bitch that I have to spend the time with too. Like, yeah, we don't fall or whatever, whoop de whoop, that's all gravy. But if I had to choose between people to side with, I would definitely side with Ivory, because it's like, bitch, Ivory's in the house with us. Ivory's going through this whole process with us. We are, for what it's worth, we're co-workers, compadres, companions, whatever you want to call it. And I don't really see what the problem was, you know, with them cheering Ivory on, because despite the fights that we've seen in public, them girls, we only see a small part of the time that they spend together. We only see like certain parts. We don't get to see how they interact while they're together in the house. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like they spend a lot of time around each other, more time than what we get to see. So it's not as if these girls are like, they fucking hate each other. You know what I'm saying? So you got this new girl coming in. So of course I'm gonna side with the bitch that I know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I would have been cheering her on, but I'm not mad at it either. It just is what it is. So anyway, next episode is definitely going to be up. The fight with Mel and Ivory is going to continue. It's going to be a bunch of other drama. Child, they don't drag this season out so damn long. It is crazy because they dropped part 1 and 2 of the Baddies Africa auditions. And I was like, well, damn, Zeus, y'all really rolling it out. Like, y'all ain't giving bitch no time to breathe. Do you not know how hard it is for me to watch these recaps like 3 and 4 times to put together a fucking, watch these shows, these episodes like 3 and 4 times to put together a recap? Like, bitch, it's a lot of work, okay? And y'all making me work overtime, dropping all this motherfucking content. That's all I'm saying. Like, slow down. Give a bitch a break, okay? Give my mind a break, because my spirit gets shook up every time I watch one of these damn shows. Bitch, I be ready to fight. I be ready to fight, be dying of laughter, fucking embarrassed, okay? It's always one of the three. So with that being said, folks, hopefully you guys enjoyed this recap. Like I said, please be on the lookout, because I will be recapping the Baddies Africa auditions part 1 and 2. It's a lot to get into there. Also stay tuned for my Erica Mena 2 Ways recap as well. Please, if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also hit the like button and the notification bell. Thank you. Love you guys. Deuces.